Hello guys, welcome back to the Crew Watron Driving All Cars, part number 83. We started on page 1 of the collection and then we go to page 2 and 3 and all of those cars we have seen in the previous videos. All of the cars that I'm sorta going over page by page here. All at $12.99, cars and bikes, all tested, included the new Circuit KTM spec for the 1290, all tested in the previous videos. The result is that we are going towards page number 15. Page number 15 are 3 cars. 2 of them were in the previous videos, which means that this is, for now, the end of the series, being the last video. The Volkswagen Touareg NF 2011. NF, not sure what that's, not familiar with that term here in Europe. Is it for the particle filter or something? Probably. SUV, soft off-roader, whatever you want to call it, and well, it also, the only thing that it has, soft off-road dirt specs. Dirt and rate. That's what it's available in. Sort of a dirt version of this car. And that's also what matters there. TDI. Standing for turbo diesel. It's a diesel. The only, although it is a V8, 4 liter, well 3.9 V8 if I'm not mistaken. Or have it changed out already to the 4.2 versions? Possible. It is a V8, but it is a diesel. And that means lots of torque, but well, also very silent, economical wise, consuming fuel, or in this case diesel, pretty good. So you might be able to do 1200 or maybe even 1500 kilometers with one tank of gas, or diesel in this case. If you fill it up, that's what you can do with these things. While with a petrol or fuel car, well, you're lucky if you can reach 700-800. So it is all based on economy, and yeah, not only the diesel engine, but also the automatic gearbox, which has 8 gears. Also the only one in this game. The only one with 8 gears, the only one with a diesel engine, and yeah. In a racing game, a diesel engine, that can't be a good thing, can it? And the 8 gears also not really helping. It's constantly busy trying to get to the 4,000-5,000 RPM that it can do, because it's a diesel. It's kind of limited to 6,000. And the red zone already starts at 5,000, so it shifts at what is it, 4,750, something like that. And eventually you will end up in 8 gear in this full stock. It goes all a bit smoother in the dirt, and the race spec does not have 8 gears though. The dirt spec is tuned a bit, so it has a bit more power, and then the shifting gears goes a bit quicker, but not quick enough though. Sorta in the middle of the pack, that's what I kinda expecting here from the last car that we test. The last car, I already mentioned in the previous video, for now that is. What are we expecting, or at least that they mentioned somewhere? There were the summer updates, and from those summer updates there are a couple that still have to come. So what did we have from the summer updates already? That was the KTM 1290 in circuit spec. I assume that if we're just going by the list, that the next update will be a rate spec for the rough RT35 that was announced, and also a dirt and a circuit spec for the Ducati Monster. That's two new spec for the bikes. The KTM also had a new spec, so I don't know. It seems to me that more I look at it, that they are sort of planning on doing something with the bikes later on. Might be by the end of the year, maybe next year, I don't know. Because not only do they bring more specs for certain bikes that we already have, they also gonna bring two new bikes, and most likely that will be the next two Summit rewards. The Kawasaki 1000Z or Z1000 and the Ducati Panigale R. Meanwhile, the dirt spec 27.5 is yeah, we have 1 or 2 28 seconds I think, but other than that most of the dirt specs did 26 or 27 seconds, and I 27.5, somewhere in the middle of the pack or just below. That's what we are looking at here, acceleration wise. And that will be the same for the race spec, I'm assuming. Although for the race spec, well, since this is the last one that we test now, we have an exceptional 28.9 for the KTM bike. But let's move to the cars. We have a 29.8 for the Camaro, 69 for the Silverado, and then a 31 seconds for the buggy, and all the other race specs have done 30 seconds something. And the biggest problem for that is here on the Bonneville, 240 seems to be the limit. 240, 242 maximum, and then they don't do more. Although this thing can do 270 for instance. So it seems to be a Bonneville issue. Resulting in a 30.6, that's almost as fast or as slow as the Mustang, and that was kinda average on acceleration. Although the Mustang is considered to be the best rate spec. So I don't know if it's something to do with the Bonneville or not, with that limited speed, which seems to be around 240 if you do the Bonneville here, mild drag race. But 27.5 in dirt, 30.6 in rate. Acceleration wise, we're in the middle of the pack. It's more of a minus than a plus. Let's see what the dirt spec can do. A bit more power here, so the shifting will go way smoother, as you can see, than in the full stock. But it has to go through the 8 gears every time, and sometimes it drops back. If you brake heavily, it can drop back from 8 to, well, then it has to search for a second, and then you will drop back to 4th or to 5th, depending on whatever it decides to put it in. So it's sort of a short shift to 8 gear, and then once it's going, it's more than okay. And if you use some nitro, you will go over 300 km an hour, so top speed is also not a big problem here with this car. Although there are faster, or at least cars that will get there faster, because yeah, you have a bit of an acceleration problem with this thing. And for economy, that might all be good. Diesel engines in 8 gears, but this is sort of a racing game where time attacks in on tracks, and that means that you have to go fast and fast accelerating and power at all moments, and then you are coming to a car with 8 gears and a diesel engine. How good are some of those diesel engines are lately? Yeah, a petrol will always be faster. If you give it some nitro, then it keeps going, of course, because it has a torque. The diesel engines, they have torque, that's for sure. But to get that power going, you need to spam the nitro boost a bit. And you're also dealing with the fact that it's an SUV, so the weight is a bit of a minus here. The weight and the diesel engine, of course. Great for economy, but not for racing. Unless the competition also has a diesel engine, but since it's the only one in the game, there's not competition with diesel engine, so that makes it a bit of an average to even below average dirt spec. You can smoothly drive with it, and you're not high revving, of course, because it quickly changes gears all the time. So I'm thinking for the next videos in this series, that is, that will probably will be some for certain numbers. For instance, the RUF is probably the next one that they will bring, the rate spec for the RUF. That is, I'm looking the RUF RT. That's part number 26 of this series. So I will probably make a video of that RUF in rate, and then I call it 26B or something, referring to the other specs being featured in part number 26. And that will be the same for the Ducati Monster. Let me see, the Monster is part number 40, so I will probably also make a part number 40B. And then part 84 and 85 will be the upcoming bikes, the Kawasaki and the Ducati, and then we will be almost the end of November, where they will bring Calling All Unit, the new expansion, and that also comes with new cars. Already seen in some footage or on the cover are the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta, the Lamborghini Huracan, the Jeep Wrangler, the Nissan GTR R35. Anything else? No, those were the 4 cars that we saw, I think. Nope. Also the KTM racing bike, the 1190 RC8. Again, another bike, so that means that after that one we will have racing and cruiser bikes for most of the bike brands. So my expectation is that they are planning something with the bikes, maybe a summit event or something, I don't know. Meanwhile, we switched to the rate spec for the Touareg, and that is actually a pretty good one. It's well, more or less the Dakar version of it, of the Touareg. Has been driving around, I don't know in the latest Dakars, but definitely in previous versions of it. Bit short on acceleration maybe here and there, but once it smoothly can go and it can take the jumps and it can take the obstacles here and there. Speed wise also pretty decent. Not mistaken, but it's one of the highest top speed. I think it can reach somewhere around 270 in rate spec, and that's not bad. It just tends, it's one of those cars that you have to be careful for the big obstacles. How do you deal with them? Because it tends to flip over something. Not as bad as a Hummer or a Mini or a rough 3400, but you have to be careful occasionally. But especially on certain tracks, this thing can be used in rate spec, and that's also the best use for this Touareg. So that will be it for this video, and also for now for this series, until they bring new specs, new cars, and then I will keep the series running and going. But for now, this will be the end till they bring probably the rate spec for the rough. We'll see you guys then, and bye for now.